Hello guys, and welcome to my video lecture series. So we are doing the chapter molecular basis of inheritance, and in the last lecture we completed transcription, okay, and we studied how from DNA mRNA is produced. Now before we start with translation, the next part given in your book is basically about genetic code. Okay, so let us start with that part. Okay, so what do you understand by the term genetic code? Okay, so anybody has heard about this genetic code? I'll just give you a preview. Okay, so basically if you want to see, this diagram over here is the diagram given of genetic code. Okay, so we'll be studying that in detail later on, but coming back to our topic, what is genetic code now? Before we understand what is this, uh, does everybody understand that? See, basically in transcription what you are going to do is you are going to convert the DNA which is there into mRNA, correct? That is what you did. And what is going to happen in translation is that this mRNA is going to get converted into proteins or amino acids. Okay, so amino acid chain I can write down, or I can also write down polypeptide, or I can also write down protein, correct? So tell me one thing, for you to form polypeptides or proteins, okay, where is the information going to come from? The information is going to come from the DNA itself. Okay, that information is going to be passed to the mRNA, and that information is going to go to the proteins, correct? As you know, DNA is the main part of the nucleus. DNA controls many activities of the cell, and also it is controlling protein synthesis. So DNA is copying the information to mRNA, and mRNA is copying it to proteins. Now tell me, which is this information which is going from DNA to mRNA and from mRNA to proteins? Very, very simple. What is the DNA made up of? So the DNA, as you all know, is made up of what? It is made up of nucleotides, correct? So these nucleotides, what are nucleotides? Purines and pyrimidines, A, T, G, C. These nucleotides are getting copied to mRNA. The only difference in mRNA is instead of T there will be U. I hope you remember that coding strand and mRNA are both the same. The only difference is U is there in mRNA and there is T in tRNA. Correct. And those same nucleotides, they will decide the order of the amino acid. Okay, so now tell me, if suppose I tell you, okay, now let us rub all this off. Okay, now everybody knows what amino acids are. Okay, so amino acids are basically the main smallest parts of the proteins. If I tell you that there are total 20 amino acids, okay, how many amino acids are there? Your body requires 20 amino acids. Now tell me, to form 20 amino acids, there is a code which is present. Okay, and for forming amino acids, the code which is present, that code is called as a codon. Okay, so in short, you can say that one codon is responsible for formation of one amino acid. Okay, so the code which is present, what is a codon? Codon is nothing but a sequence of nucleotides which are present. Okay, and that particular sequence, it will be responsible for calling the amino acid. Okay, in translation, whatever will be the sequence of the nucleotides, or whatever codon will be there, according to that the amino acids will be joined to form a polypeptide. Okay, so what is a codon? A codon is basically a sequence of nucleotides which is responsible for formation of one amino acid. Okay, so now tell me, if there are 20 amino acids, how many codons are you going to require? Obviously you will require minimum 20 codons, because if here we say that one codon can form only one amino acid, so to form 20 amino acids you require at least 20 codons, correct? Now let us figure out that how many nucleotides are present in one codon. Okay, so let us take the first thing. Let us say that suppose if each codon is a singlet, What is the meaning of the word singlet? Singlet means that each codon has got only one nucleotide. So if suppose I say that a codon is made up of only one single nucleotide, so then how many codons will be present? There will be only 4 codons present. Okay, so what will be the codons then? There will be codon A, there will be codon U, because we are talking about the RNA. See, please remember, codons are present on mRNA. Okay, because mRNA undergoes translation to form protein. So whatever that code or order of nucleotides is, it is present on mRNA. So we will be writing U, not T. If one codon is made up of one nucleotide, then another option is codon G, or it can be codon C. So if I say that one codon is made up of only one nucleotide, then I have only 4 codons. Now tell me, how many amino acids do I want to form total? 20 amino acids I want to form. So are 4 codons enough to form 20 amino acids? No. So can a codon be made up of only one nucleotide? No. Okay, see, actually one codon is made up of 3 nucleotides, but that was not known earlier. So some people said that it is made up of only single nucleotide, but I have shown why it cannot be made up of single nucleotide. Okay, now let's rub this off. Now let us take the other option. If I say that one codon is made up of 2 nucleotides, so I am calling the codon as a doublet. So if I say that it is a singlet codon, that means the codon is made up of only one nucleotide. If I say that it is a doublet codon, that means it is made up of 2 nucleotides. So suppose if I say that it is a doublet codon, so now can you tell me how many different combinations or how many different codons can I form? It is very, very simple. I will just write down the 4 nucleotides over here. Okay, we have to write down all the combinations. I will write down A, U, G, C over here as well. And now we just have to write the combinations. So if we write the combinations, then the combination over here is capital A, capital A. Here it is AU, because now it is a doublet. Please remember this. So I am writing 2 nucleotides. We are assuming that the codon is made up of 2 nucleotides. This will be AG, this will be AC. Similarly, this will be UA, this will be UU, this will be UG, and this will be UC. Now please remember, many people will say that AU and UA is the same. No, 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 it is not the same. See, I will show you something over here. I am drawing this mRNA over here. Okay, this is the 5' end, this is the 3' end. Okay, everybody remembers. So there is a start codon over here, stop codon over here. Suppose if I am writing AU over here, then this AU is read as AU only. It cannot be read as UA, because you are reading from 5 to 3. Similarly, if I am writing UA like this, it will always be read from left to right, 5 to 3, so it is UA. So please remember, AU is not the same, UA is not the same. Okay, so don't say that why have you repeated AU and UA. I have not repeated this, and these are different. Anyway, coming back, this will be GA, this will be GU, this will be GG, this will be GC, this will be CA, this will be CU, this will be CG, and this will be CC. Correct? So if I am considering the codon as a doublet, that is if it is made up of 2 nucleotides, then how many codons am I getting? I am getting 16 codons. Correct? But how many amino acids I want? I want to form 20 amino acids. Again the number of codons are less. See, in the first case I had got 4 codons. Now I am getting 16 codons, but I want to form 20 amino acids. So again doublet cannot be possible, because after 16 codons you cannot form 20 amino acids, because one codon will only form one amino acid, it cannot form 2. Now what is the third case? So third case is that, what do you think it will be? Third case is that if a codon is a triplet. So what is a triplet? Triplet means that one codon is made up of 3 amino acids. Are you getting my point? So if it is a triplet, now can you tell me how many codons will be present? What does triplet mean? You have 4 nucleotides A, U, G, C. Out of them you can use any 3 to form a codon. So how many such combinations will be possible? So over here only I can show you. It is very simple. Can you tell me if the codon is a triplet, how many codons will be present? So if a codon is a singlet, 4 codons are present. If codon is a doublet, 16 codons are present. If a codon is a triplet, how many will be present? Can you guess? Now over here only I am going to show that, so it doesn't become confusing. Now take this example. I already have 2 nucleotides. I want to add the third. So how many possibilities can be there over here? So this can be AAA, I am adding an A. It can be AAU, I am adding U. This can be AAG, or this can be AAC, correct? So now each one I am multiplying by 4 because I am adding one more nucleotide to each of them. Similarly, if I am adding one nucleotide to each one of this doublet, then how many codons will I have? So over here I am multiplying 1 by 4. How many such doublets are there? 16. So each of them, if I multiply it by 4, it will become 16 into 4. So how many codons will be present? There will be 64 codons present when I will be using a triplet. So when I say that one codon, if it is made up of 3 nucleotides, how many codons are possible? 64 codons. Similarly over here, if you want to write, it will be AUA, it will be AUU, it will be AUG, it will be AUC. Are you understanding this? Are you understanding? So there are 64 codons present. Now comes the question. You have 64 codons. Can you form 20 amino acids? Obviously you can form. Correct? Because now you have plenty of codons. You can easily form 20 amino acids. But अभी आप बोलोगे कि सर अगर 64 codons है तो 64 amino acids बनने चाहिए. That is what you will ask, right? See my friends, you want to form 20 amino acids. Now have a look at this diagram. If you see this diagram, see, first of all, you can see this codons, triplets, all of them. If you count 4 over here, 4 over here, 4 over here, 4 over here, so these are 16 multiplied by 4, so 64. So 64. This is the first letter. So if I suppose want to read U, that first U is over here, second U is from this, and the third U is from this. So this is how you read. Suppose if I say that find CCG, so first I will go over here, first letter, I will get the C, correct? Then for the second letter I will go over here, so I know that it is somewhere over here. Then I go G, so CCG is over here. Are you understanding this? Is this clear? So this is how you find the codon. But if you see over here, now all these names which are written in blue, okay, these are all your amino acids. Even this green is amino acid. Now these are short forms. For example, GLY stands for glycine, ARG stands for arginine, SER stands for serine, okay, GLU stands for glutamine, okay, LYS stands for lysine. So HIS stands for histidine. So these are basically short forms. Amino acids are written by the first 3 letters of their full name. Correct. So now if you see over here, glycine has got 4 codons, GGU, GGC, GGA, GGG. What does this mean? Ki if on mRNA any one of this codon is present, it will be responsible for forming the same amino acid. ओके आप समझ रहे हो क्या? सो कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा अगर मेरे बॉडी में GGU है, ओके, या GGC है, या GGA है, या GGG है, all the 4 codons are going to form the same amino acid. So what do we understand from this? That we have 64 codons, but some amino acids can be formed by more than one codon. For example, glycine can be formed by 4 codons. Some of the amino acids, if you see, they are formed by 2 codons. For example, arginine is formed by these 2. If you see, some of the amino acids, they require only one codon to be formed. For example, MET, methionine is the name of the amino acid that is formed only by AUG. Okay, so one codon will only form one amino acid. If I say AAU over here, then AAU will only form this amino acid. It will not form any other amino acid. Or if I say CAU, then CAU will only form histidine. It will not form any other amino acid. However, histidine itself can be formed by 2 codons. So are you understanding? Is this clear? So finally, what have we come to the conclusion? We have come to the conclusion that the codon is a triplet. And what do you understand by triplet? Triplet means that it is made up of 3 nucleotides. and by that combination you will have 64 different codons, and out of the 64 different codons there will be found 20 amino acid. So can I write down the rule over here that one codon will form only one particular amino acid, but one amino acid can be formed by many codons? Is this clear? Okay, so that is why you understand that the codon is triplet. Is this clear? Okay, so let me rub this off. Now this was proved. Okay, this was proved by two people. There was one person called as Gamow. Okay, so Gamow was the first person to suggest that the genetic code is triplet. So what is a genetic code? The genetic code is a collection of all the codons. This entire chart that you see is called as genetic code. Okay, so the genetic code is made up of codons which are all triplet, that is they are made up of 3 nucleotides. This was shown by whom? This was first shown by Gamow. However, it was proved by a person called as F.H.C. Crick. So Watson and Crick wala Crick. This person proved that each codon is a triplet. Okay, and he proved it by using a method or by using a mutation called as frame shift mutation. So I will come to this later on because I don't want to confuse you right now. I will tell you what is frame shift mutation, but as of now please remember that frame shift mutation was a mutation used by Crick to prove that codon is a triplet. So if I put a question, what is codon? Is it a singlet? Is it a doublet? Or is it a triplet? What is the answer? A codon is a triplet. That means it is made up of 3 nitrogen bases, not 2 nitrogen bases, not 1 nitrogen. But if in exam the question is asked, what if a codon was a singlet, how many codons will be formed? 4. If it was a doublet, how many will be formed? 16. And since it is a triplet, how many will be formed? 64. I hope this is clear. Okay, so friends, that is the part which is given in your genetic code. Okay, so Crick was the first to prove it. Now next two people that about whom things have been mentioned in the book are people called Nirenberg, okay, and Mathai. Okay, so Nirenberg and Mathai were two people who basically artificially produced mRNA. Okay, so they produced mRNA in a laboratory. Now what did they do? Nirenberg and Mathai, they made an mRNA. So suppose if this is an mRNA, okay, this is 5 prime, this is 3 prime. Now before I go to this point, I hope everybody remembers that there is a start codon which is AUG, and the stop codon can be UAA, it can be UGA, or it can be UAG. So this is also called as the start, or it is also called as the initiation codon, and this is called as the stop, or it is called as the terminating codon. So now this is something like promoter and terminator. You remember transcription, sigma factor, rho factor, promoter, terminator. In between transcription occurs, in between are present the structural genes. Over here, the start codon is giving a signal to start translation. Stop codon will end translation, and all the codons present over here, suppose there is A, there is GUU, there is CAG, all these codons will form amino acid. So this will form one amino acid, this will form another amino acid, this will form another amino acid. So the order of the amino acids will be decided by the order of the codons on the mRNA, and it will always be read from 5 to 3. Please remember, don't read from right to left, don't read from 3 to 5. And these amino acids will then join each other and they will form a polypeptide. Is this clear? Okay, now Nirenberg and Mathai, what they did was they produced an artificial mRNA only using a single nucleotide, and that was uracil. So I think everybody knows now uracil is U, Okay, so if you remember in RNA, in RNA, the purines are A and G, and the pyrimidines are U and here triple bond C. So this uracil, only using this they made the entire mRNA. Okay, so their mRNA was like this. Here 5 prime, here 3 prime. Obviously AUG will be present. Here there might be UAA, UGA or UAG. Let us write this. But in between, all the nucleotides present were only U. So basically, what was the codon present in the mRNA produced by them? The codon was only one UUU, because they are only saying that they produce the nucleotide codon having only U. So if the codon has only a single nucleotide U, then obviously the codon is going to be UUU only. Now let us study in that chart given where is UUU. So first letter over here U, second letter over here U, and now third over here. So here we get UUU. Now it is given PHE. What does PHE mean? PHE is phenylalanine. Phenylalanine is the same enzyme, same amino acid, I'm sorry, which causes phenylketonuria. Okay, so UUU produces phenylalanine. Are you getting it? So they basically, when they produce this mRNA when it was translated, or when it underwent translation, it produced a polypeptide, and the polypeptide had all the amino acids which were phenylalanine. So all these amino acids were PHE. Are you getting it? Why did they get that? Because all the codons were UUU. And we have seen in the chart UUU is what? UUU is phenylalanine. Now, from here or from this information, we come to know that this is a homopolymer codon. Please remember. Now you will ask me, what is a homopolymer codon? A homopolymer codon is a codon which has all the nucleotides which are same. For example, AAA is a homopolymer codon. GGG is a homopolymer codon. CCC is a homopolymer codon, and similarly UUU. If the codon, all three nucleotides are not same, or any one or any two are not same, then it is a heteropolymer. Okay, so Nirenberg and Mathai basically did this. They produced an mRNA with only uracil. Is this clear? Okay, this is just extra information. Nobody is going to ask you questions on this. Now we come to the next part. Okay, now after Nirenberg and Mathai, there was another person who worked a lot and he was very instrumental in forming the genetic code. Genetic code is that chart which I showed you, and the name was Hargobind Khurana. Okay, so a very famous person. He also got the Nobel Prize for forming the genetic code. Now Hargobind Khurana also artificially produced mRNAs. Okay, and normally what he did was he used to produce mRNAs which had alternate similar codons. Okay, for example, normally his mRNAs were in such a way that, see over here you can see leucine. Okay, leucine, if I take this CUC, and if I take serine UCU, okay, so his mRNA was something like this. It was CUC UCU, sorry, CUC UCU, again CUC, again UCU, and here start and here stop. This was his mRNA. Okay, now what do you think after translation? What must have happened? CUC is what? As you see over here, CUC is leucine and this is serine. So what he got was, there was alternate leucine, then serine amino acid, then again leucine, then again serine. So they made many different combinations just to check that one amino acid is formed by that codon only. So one amino acid can be formed by multiple codons. Then what he did another experiment. He kept this order same. So suppose if he took only CUC, sorry, CU, oh, let me rub this off. If he took only CUC, then again C, again CuC, again CuC. So what he got? Here he got all the amino acids we said leucine only. So Hargobind Khurana, he won the Nobel Prize. He found a method for artificially forming mRNAs, also similar to Nirenberg and Mathai. Okay, so many names. Okay, we have heard about Crick, we have heard about Gamow, we had heard about Nirenberg and Mathai, now Hargobind Khurana, and now the last name which is given is about a person called Oshua. Okay, so I will write down his name, Oshua. Now this person, what he said was, listen to me now, when the mRNA is formed, okay, if you remember the mRNA when it is formed, okay, you remember post modification in mRNA, first splicing, then capping, then telling, after that the mRNA is formed. Okay, so now what happens is this mRNA will have sequence, it will have a start codon, it will have a stop codon, and it will have all the sequences in between, whatever it is. Okay, all these codons are present. Now what Oshua said was, this mRNA is very small. After this mRNA is formed, what happens is these sequences which are present, okay, these sequences between the start and stop codon, they duplicate. So again what will happen is this sequence will become like this: AUG, then AUGCAU, then again this sequence will repeat, so it will be AAAUGCAU. This will repeat multiple times, thousands of times it will repeat, and then end mein there will be a stop codon. So how are these sequences multiplying? How is the mRNA growing on its own? So this Oshua said that there is a enzyme which is responsible for this polymerization. Polymerization means what? Extending the mRNA. Polymer matlab many units. So this one unit keeps on repeating and it forms a polymer, so the mRNA length will increase. Suppose if this multiplies 100 times, the mRNA will become so long. And the name of the enzyme which does that is called as polynucleotide spelling mistake over here, phosphorylase. So very important from NEET point of view, the name of the enzyme. Polynucleotide phosphorylase is the name of the enzyme which causes polymerization. Okay, and this is not template dependent. Matlab, this doesn't happen during transcription. Transcription may only this is formed. After transcription, this keeps on multiplying and it elongates the mRNA. That is due to the enzyme called polynucleotide phosphorylase. This was given by Oshua. So finally, after all these different experiments, this entire table or this entire genetic code, okay, so that genetic code was basically given by three people, Nirenberg, Mathai and Oshua, and they all formed this genetic code. This table is called as genetic code, which has 64 codons. Okay, 64 codons, has 3 stop codons, you can see over here, stop, and 1 start codon which is AUG. Stop codons, if you remember, they are nonsense codons because they do not form any amino acids, whereas start codon does form one amino acid, that is methionine. Is this clear? So here we have completed about genetic code. It is very easy. You just need to remember how many codons are present. How many codons are present? 64 codons are present. How many amino acids are present in the body? 20. So how can 64 codons form 20 amino acids? Very simple. One amino acid can be coded by more than one codon. So some of the amino acids have 4 codons. Any one of those codon, if it is present, it will give rise to same amino acid. Okay, so please remember the rule: one particular codon will form only one particular amino acid, but one particular amino acid can be formed by more than one codons. Is this clear? Okay, so we have finished it. We have learned about certain people who did a lot of work in this part of molecular biology, in this field of molecular biology. Okay, so now there is a short principle given in your book called as complementarity principle. Okay, so I will do one thing, I will rub this off and basically there is a paragraph given. So that paragraph is called as the complementarity principle. Now what is complementarity principle? See, there are three processes which I am going to take into account. First process is called as replication. Okay. Second process which I am going to take is called transcription. And the third process which I am going to say is translation. See, we have still not learned translation. Okay. Translation will involve tRNA also. It will involve ribosome. That is after this. That will be your next lecture. So now, if I talk about replication and transcription, then in these two processes, complementary principle is present. Now, what is complementarity? Complementary, first of all, I can say that, sorry, I can say that A is complementary to G. Similarly, sorry, extremely sorry, A is complementary to U. G is complementary to C. So what is complementarity principle? Complementarity principle matlab opposites. Okay. For example, in replication, if this is one strand of DNA 5 prime to 3 prime and this is 3 prime to 5 prime, and if the sequence here is AATGC, the sequence over here will be TTACG. Why? Because these are complementary. So this is following complementarity. So this is following complementarity principle, correct? Because these are complementary. What happens in transcription? In transcription, you are forming an mRNA, but that mRNA is also complementary to template strand. So this is also following this principle. But what happens about translation? Now, translation is not following complementarity principle because translation will depend upon the codon. One codon will give rise to that amino acid. So that is not complementary. Are you understanding? It is not that the codon will have some sequence, the amino acid will have complementary sequence. It is not like that. So please remember that complementarity principle is followed only by these two processes, replication and transcription. It is not at all followed by translation. Okay, so this is explained in your book. Okay, so on this note, we end this lecture. It is a slightly short lecture. The next part is going to be characteristics of genetic code. Okay, so if there are any doubts, please let me know. Okay, and the homework I'll be giving you on your group. Okay, so thanks a lot.